And hello everybody and welcome back. I'm DB and I'm here making a video that I generally didn't want to make. But due to the current circumstances, I feel like I'm one of the few people that is actually going to make this video. Um, I know that some people have made this video, but apparently it's not been enough. So maybe with the select few people that will watch this video, maybe it'll make a difference. I don't know. However, it has come to my attention that with the recent Ubisoft terms of service change, there's been mass hysteria spreading among the gaming community and the content creating community, both YouTube community and the streaming community, and I really don't know. You can't get a word in edgewise with these folks, with these community members, let alone the content creators. So what I want to do, and most of this is just relieving stress because I don't have the reach or the platform to actually get much needed word out there. But I figured maybe if I can talk about it, maybe somebody else that has a larger platform will talk about it, who knows, and maybe it won't be so bad. Now, rest assured that this is mostly, if not all, Ubisoft's fault for very poorly wording their terms of service. And rest assured, it is poorly worded terms of service, right down to the said alleged lawyer that I will reference here shortly, that took it upon himself to look at the terms of service and to interpret it and to give his take on it. He has a channel right here on YouTube. He goes by the channel name Hogan Law, and I recommend you all go check him out. He very interesting, very insightful on what he deems talk about in current climate that is today's world, when as far as a legal perspective goes. And I do actually enjoy watching his contents too. So shout out to him for whatever that may be worth. But huge thanks to him. Huge thanks to everybody that actually started talking about this in the first place. But it seemed like the conversation stopped when it first broke the news, and nobody really tried, except for the person I mentioned and a few other people. Nobody really tried to interpret it or to understand. And the thing is, this goes beyond, well beyond my understanding, and there's a lot of technical legal mumbo jumbo with how you have to interpret these terms of service, because it is not written in plain English. And when you read it in plain English, it looks way worse than it really is. And I'll get into this pretty much right now. The short version of this is Ubisoft's terms of service simply applies to their own services. And apparently whoever lawyers they hired to draft these terms of services, according to my references, allegedly, and apparently I'm told that lawyers do this, they try to accommodate for future events. So they mention videos and streaming. The way the terms of service would be implied is they're talking about maybe in the future Ubisoft would have some streaming services or video services, and if you use those services, then these would apply. Currently, right now, since they don't, those things are currently just, they mean nothing right now, because these term service does not apply to YouTube, does not apply to Twitch, does not apply to anything. They don't own anything that you do on these things. Certainly, the copyright is an argument to be had, and that's one that I can't really make, but I understand the basic concept of it, and everybody kind of understands the basic concept. Anybody, any publisher slash developer, whatever, the owner of the said copyright in regards to video games is what we're talking about here. If you play a video game, they want to go, no, we want to take that down, they could go and take that down because they own the rights. Allegedly, a lot of companies, in matter of fact, most companies do not do that, except for a few. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. Do not do that because it's bad publicity, and a lot of companies want good publicity because advertising equals more money. That being said, a lot of laws equal up into what right now equals up what you upload into like Ubisoft's client. So basically, if you do not want stuff to be used, do not upload stuff into their game, not their game, yeah, into their game or into their client, so it will not be used in that way, because in the process you are using their services, you're using their servers, their game client, their chatting ability, their social networking ability. You're using their service. You're using their services. Pardon the phone. But there is some weird things with when it regards to pictures and images you send for like your profile picture and everything. Basically, they're trying to word it to where they can share these pictures and images across multiple games, and they're trying to clarify that in a not so clear way to where if you play one game, it'll show your image, and you play another game, it can then show the same image, but they will not do what they said they would do with the other information that you would upload to the services regardless. At the end of the day, if you just want to be safe, just don't upload anything to Ubisoft services whatsoever, and you would then be covered. This is what the terms of service is basically saying. If you upload your stuff to our services, you are approving that we can then use these said things for our purposes. And it only covers their services, not any other services. It gets a little grayer the further down you go, but that's basically it. And it took somebody to break it down for me and a few other people to basically understand this, because it was so poorly worded, and because, well, lawyers write, and sorry to say, it's lawyers write in a different language than you or I speak in. So that's about the sum of it. So I'm really hoping that we can move past this, we can understand it, we can acknowledge it, we can move past this, and we can, for what it is. But I'll be honest, this is Ubisoft's fault. Yes, they could write this up. Yes, they could put this in here. But what they really should have did is they could have came out with like some kind of disclaimer or whatever and go and just try to explain this in simple terms so that you would understand this, instead of just, hey, because people read this and they don't understand what they're reading and they misinterpret. So it is kind of Ubisoft's fault, but then there's a lot of people running around like headless chickens, spreading, panic, and it's just is what it is.